I just found out my mother has been getting pulverized by my friend's dad. How do I break this to my father and friend? My mom, 42F, and dad, 42M, have been married for 20 years. The other day, my 17F notebook broke and I had to do some research for school, so I asked my mom to use hers. She gave it to me, and while I was on the internet, a message appeared, and I could read the phrase, "Hello, love." I opened it, thinking it was my father's, and what I read made me sick. The message was from one of my father's friends. The guy is married, and I even study with his daughter from time to time. I looked at the chat history, and it has messages going back from at least 1 year ago, and there were photos and videos too. It was the most horrible thing I have ever seen in my entire life. My father takes my mother on dates, treats her very well, helps with chores and everything. I don't understand how she has the courage to do that to him. He is currently traveling and will only be back tomorrow. I copied everything from emails, messages, photos, and videos and saved it to show him. I'm trying to hide my feelings, but I can't look at her without feeling disgusted. I don't know what to do. Do I show it to them both at the same time? Do I show it to him first and let him solve it? And my friend, her father is cheating too, what do I even say? Update 1. Firstly, I would like to thank everyone for the comments. Soon after I created the post, I got in touch with my older brother, 24M, and told him everything. He was also shocked by all this and told me to stay calm. He lives in another city but would come see me as soon as possible. He arrived in the afternoon, and I showed him everything, but he couldn't bring himself to see even half of it. He made a copy to keep safe and stayed at a friend's house so my mom wouldn't suspect anything. The next day, my dad returned home from his trip, and my brother and I took this opportunity while my mom was working to tell him. I said that I had found something in my mom's notebook and thought he didn't know, so I showed him. He started reading everything, and after about 5 minutes, he began to feel sick and vomited. My brother managed to calm my father, but he was in shock. We stayed there for about an hour and started talking again. I asked him if he knew about this, or if they had some kind of agreement, and he said no, as I already suspected. I asked him if I was right to show him since this was not my business, and he said yes, that I am part of the family and I did the right thing. I asked him if I should tell my friend's mother, but he decided to call her and ask her to come here right away. She came with my friend, and my father told her everything. She cried so much, saying she had a suspicion that he was cheating but did not know who he was with. She asked me how I found out, so I gave them their IDs, emails, and nicknames, and she went home to look. Later, she came back, and it was the same thing, started about 1 year ago, only that my mother was not the only one. He has one more woman, but nobody knows her. I apologized to my friend for not telling her, but she said that I had done nothing wrong, and that she understands why I did it. The night my mother arrived, she was scared to see my brother at home. My father asked her, and initially, she denied everything. When he insisted, she started crying and told the truth. My mother kept crying, saying that it shouldn't have happened. My dad asked why she did it, and she kept saying it wasn't supposed to be like this, that she didn't want to hurt him, that my father was the only man for her. However, she ended up letting herself be carried away by emotion, saying that the other guy meant nothing, and that she would have eventually stopped and confessed the truth on her own. She was begging him not to make any hasty decisions and promised to do whatever it takes to show that he is the only man for her. During all this, he didn't say a word. In the end, he took a suitcase and asked my brother and I if we were going to stay. I said I would go with him, so the three of us went to my uncle's house who lives nearby. My dad cried all night. I told my brother that I wouldn't live with mom even if dad goes back, so he said I could stay with him in the meantime. This morning, she called me to talk. I didn't want to go, but my brother insisted. She said it was never her intention to hurt my father, that she will do everything to be a better wife and mother. She asked how my father found out, and I said that I told him. She asked me how, but I didn't tell her. I said that I hope one day I can forgive her, but not now. I also mentioned that I don't want her at my birthday, or even at my graduation party, and she started crying again, so I left. Some of you say that I see the world in a way that doesn't exist, that not everything is perfect, that I didn't know what my parents' relationship was like, and maybe you are right. Perhaps I'm just a naive girl who doesn't know how the world works. No matter what you do, you will always end up hurting yourself with a person who does not respect you. I'm stupid to think that there will be a person who will like me and will never hurt me, that we will grow old together and pass away with the same love that we had when we met. I agree that I am stupid to think like that, but after yesterday, I also realized something, the damage that betrayal does. I prefer to pass alone than to do something like that with someone. But who am I to understand, right? I will try to answer some questions from the previous thread. Do I regret it? I have absolutely no regrets. Will my father try to reconcile? I don't know, but I don't think so. He already talked to a lawyer about divorce, and here betrayal counts in favor of my father in divorce. Why didn't I talk to my mom first? It didn't make sense to do that. First, she had a year to tell the truth. What difference would it make for me to tell her first? It would be a forced, meaningless confession. Sometimes people have to face a harsh reality to wake up in life. Have I always been angry with my mom? No, until last Thursday, our relationship was perfect. How do I feel about destroying two families? Nothing, because I didn't destroy anything. They did it when they chose to betray. But what if he is abusive or does not meet her needs the best? It doesn't matter. If he is abusive, you divorce him. But what about her needs? Okay, but what about his? By that logic, if she is looking for another person, it means that his needs are also not being met, and he did not betray.